Hello everyone, Chess Hoodie here. Welcome to game 12. This time we played DK Joe and his rating is 2359, but after the game I checked. The guy recently had a rating close to 2500 and he plays 20 to 30 rapid games every day. So it's a very dangerous opponent and I didn't know that beforehand. Let's see what happened. So I was white, d4, d5, bishop f4, c5, e3, knight c6, knight f3, bishop g4. I haven't faced this move before, I think, so I was kind of improvising from here on. c3, e6, bishop b5, bishop f3, and we come to the first interesting point. Of course, natural is to take with the queen, but I felt creative and I took with the pawn, thinking that it will give me a nice control of that square and the queen can go to the attack. Let's see if that worked. Knight f6, queen a4, queen b6, rook g1, another original idea, attacking here and hindering the development of this bishop. Rook c8, and now I took on c5 thinking he cannot take like this because of taking on g7, which was true. So he took on c5 with the queen, knight d2, a6, and here comes the second point where I misjudged the situation. So I have the bishop pair, and I thought that's my asset, so I wanted to preserve it, but I failed to realize that probably I cannot open the position in time to make use of my bishops, and it was smart just to exchange here, and this makes sense now to me. But during the game I decided to preserve the bishop pair, but I cannot really do that. You will see. So he played g6, I played knight b3, queen b6, and now I started to play with fire. I put my bishop on e5. As you can see, knight is attacking that square, but for the moment there is a pin here. But of course I am pinning him, and my idea is if he develops, I will harass him here. Is it good? I'm not sure. It's, as I said, it's like playing with fire, because I have to be very careful if he ever breaks this pin. Oops, sorry, something like this, or attacking the queen, this might get in trouble. My opponent played bishop e7, avoiding those lines where he develops to g7 and I prevent him from castling. And now I made a howler. I played knight d4, thinking, okay, if he takes my pawn, no problem. I'll take the knight. When he recaptures, I'll attack his queen. Let's say he goes here. I exchange, and in the end, I win his knight. But what I had missed is that when I take on c6, he can just take my rook with check, and it's game over. So I missed that, and fortunately, it didn't happen. My opponent did not take on b2. Of course, I don't have to take on c6, but I'm losing a couple of pawns if I don't do that. So he just castled and gave me a chance. I took on c6, he recaptured, and here I made another mistake. I should have just retreated. Yeah, that's one option. Admit that black is better and try to maybe organize an attack, or I don't know, just play from here. But I went for tactics, so I put my queen against his bishop, thinking, okay, this knight is pinned, and if he tries something fancy, I can just take it, because there is no time for neither of these ideas. Yeah. And if he starts with taking on b2, attacking here, I can always interpose rook b1 and then capture his knight, because this is protected. Yeah, but what had I missed? So yeah, so knight doesn't have any squares. It looks like queen cannot do this counter-attacking idea. So it looks like I'm winning a piece, but he has a square, and he found it because he's a good player. Knight d7, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop. I have only one move, and that is to take the bishop, but now he takes my bishop. No more bishop pair. This is hanging, this is hanging, this is hanging. So, not good. Actually, I'm lost here. So I castled. I think this is the only move to, try and fight. Rook fc8. And here, I wanted to start attacking him, but it just doesn't work. For example, if I push here, I saw that this is a winning move for him. I will not show all the lines. I need to cut down some time of the video, but it's a good exercise for you to find out why is this winning for black. So I retreated with my queen instead of, so I just gave him a pawn. So now I'm a pawn down and I have a bad position. So let's see, rook g3, knight e5, and I wanted to preserve my bishop, but I can't, because after knight c4, this knight is too strong, so I will have to give up my bishop and just lose time in the process. So that's why I did not retreat. I played f4, he exchanged, and it's all good, he's winning. But now he starts to lose the thread for a while. And let's see, after this, yeah, he played an impractical move. So he is material up, and he offered the exchange of queens. But here, that gives up on the biggest part of his advantage, and that is my king, yeah? With no queens on the board, my king will be much safer. With the queens on the board, he can make a pawn storm, because my pawn storm isn't going anywhere. He will always block me, and I am not ready with this rook and this queen to support the attack. But after queen c5, I have some chances. It's still bad, but at least I'm not losing instantly. So let's see. Another strange move by him, f5, because this move kind of blocks the side where he's stronger. So it's still not too late to rectify things, but okay. King d3, I don't like f5. King f7, and now I made a little provocation. It was a bluff. Like, I wanted him to go h5, and then I will move my rook and play h4 and block the king side. Let's see. h5 happened. My provocation started to work. Rook g3, and here I knew, I just knew that he has to play h4, right? Because if he lets me play h4, then I will control this square enough times so he will never break through. But if he plays h4, he can eventually achieve this break, yeah, combined with this break. You know, the rook goes here, here, the other rook goes there, and they support. This is unavoidable, but he first attacked my pawn, I protected, and now he played rook c4, and now I knew, okay, I'm not losing this game anymore. I played h4, although we'll see. That's what I thought. And that's the problem. These 5 pawns are blocked by these 4 pawns, and it looks like an eternal blockade. Let's see. Rook bc5, rook g2, rook c6, rook d2, b5. And here I hasted a little bit. I wasn't patient enough, so I made a mistake. I took here thinking that nothing will change whichever way he recaptures. But had he recaptured with the rook, this is what I thought, that I have this blockade. But there is this move. And actually later I realized that this is a possibility, right? But fortunately my opponent didn't see. It's not so easy to understand why, but something similar was possible later. So then I figured out that this was the chance for him. But what he did, he took with the pawn, and now he has literally no chances to win. I actually started thinking of playing for a win now, even though I'm a pawn down. Somehow my structure is better. So here, for example, if I take, it's a big mistake. Yeah, because then king comes up, and he will start to push these pawns, and my pawns are actually endangered now. Okay, so I didn't take, I put my rook back, and we shuffled a little bit, exchanged, and let's see what happened next. Yeah, so here, as you can see, I have 40 seconds, and I rushed a little bit. I played c4, after which it's a complete draw. Even though I'm a pawn down, I cannot lose, but I cannot win. But I had some winning chances. I mean, not objectively, but practically. Had I tried this idea, and then something, he has to defend the pawn, and then I can infiltrate with my rook, and it's nothing, but he needs to play accurately. Maybe he would get scared and make a mistake. Anyways, I rushed things a little bit, and after this I didn't see any way forward, and there was another three-way repetition, so the game ended in a draw. I'm not unhappy. The opponent outplayed me for the most part of the game, but in the end game he was either careless or he didn't understand that he needs to stop me from blocking his g pawn. So when he let me play h4, it was too late for him to think about winning. And also, don't be fooled, 2359 is his current rating, but he had more than 100 points more just a few days ago or a few weeks ago. So he's a strong player. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you in the next. Bye!